it's Bella and welcome to Beauty on a Budget. And for me, the best dupe I've ever found. And I think I've found some quite good ones, and I'm very happy with the ones I found. But for me, this is the best one. As far as being alike, as far as longevity, as far as pigmentation, quality, this is lovely. And it's a Revolution, and this particular palette is the Velvet Rose palette, and it looks like this, and it's a beautiful, beautiful palette, and the pigmentation is wonderful, and it's an absolute dream to work with. And it's a dupe. Does anybody know? Oh, you do know. It's a dupe for the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, which for me, in my opinion, is the best palette that's ever, come from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love those sort of tones and those shades. I mean, she's done some fantastic palettes. I think I've duped a couple for you before. I did dupe the Modern Renaissance, and there was another one I duped, Subculture. I think I duped both of those for you. But for me, this is the best dupe. I think that is an excellent, excellent palette. And I'm going to show you how to put it on. Okay, so as I said, I will put up the number that corresponds with the shadow that I'm using. So I'm going to start with this one here, and I'm going to put that all over my lid now and right up to my brow. Now I already have, a bit closer, I already have a base on anyway. I've got my foundation on. I've got an eye primer on, and then I put a little bit of powder, translucent powder, over the top to seal that, and just a little bit under here to seal a bit under my eyes. But that's all I've got on so far. I'm going to move this mirror, which I should have done before, so I can see a little bit more. I've got a mirror down here. So I'm going to start then with what I call my first transition colour, and I'm going to pick this one here. I'll put the number again on my Primark angled brush like that. You know I love that brush. And we're going to work windshield wipers around like this. And we want to bring it, this time we want to bring this quite far up. Quite far up. And then as we do that, we want to blend that out. I'm not going to put another colour up there to fade it out. I've just put it on so that it graduates up to the brow, well, towards the brow, you can see. And then I'm just circular motions and blending that well in. So that's my first transition colour. And we'll do that the other side. This eye is always, I know I've mentioned it to you before, this eye is always harder to work with. I don't know why. I don't particularly have hooded eyes. I have the 1,000,001 things that I have got, particularly got hooded eyes. But I don't know, I think that one is a little bit more droopy than that one. I think that's what it is. But it's always more, it's easier to get a clean line there than it is to get a clean line there. Do you have that problem? So with this one, I have to come just a little bit higher to try and equal with this one. It doesn't particularly notice, I don't think. It particularly notices when I'm actually looking into the mirror. So I don't think it does on camera particularly, but it is. Although maybe it's just because I've been so used to looking at my face, it's just grown naturally to me. So again, really working that, you see. Don't push too hard because we don't want to pull the skin about too much, but we do want to really blend that in. Okay, so I always in between get a sponge, which I've wiped down or squeezed out after my foundation. I haven't washed it out yet, so it's still got some foundation in, but not a lot. And I just neaten up that end. This is a NYX one. I like it a lot. It's very nice. I'm always a real Techniques sponge girl, you know that. But this next to them, I like this. And it actually seems to be tougher. So I may invest in a few of these. I don't mean harder. I mean longer wearing. So I might invest in a couple more of those, guys. Okay. So once we've done that, we're going to choose our next colour. Now, as I said before, there's different tones in here. So this is the one that I did the first transition with. I think this one will be too dark. That's more sort of a lower V colour. And I'm trying to work out what would be best. Because these are definitely warmer tones. I want these that go with more the pinks. So what I will do, I think I will go with the one, no, that's too bright. I'll go with the darker one and then I'll go with the shimmer one. So we'll go with the darker one. I'll put that on the same brush because I want to keep to that red tone. So I'm going to start with the darker one, but I'm going to put just a little bit on because these are very pigmented. And I'm coming down, definitely not as high. You definitely don't want to put the darker colour as high. I'm coming down and I'm following the same line. Like this, following the same line, just a little bit. And then blending that into the first colour. But not up, you know, into the brow, obviously. So we're just easing the colours together so that they get just sort of fade into each other. And blending up at the ends. Up. It's for my eyes, and I think for a lot of us in my age bracket, we don't want to go down with the colour because it's windshield wiper is really, as I'm doing, over and over. But at the end, we want to sort of encourage that up look. Especially for me, because everything else is going down anyway. So we want to encourage that up look. So working that like that. Over and get our sponge again. And make sure we keep that edge there up. And then I'm going to do the same the other side. These palettes, as I said, are, see how much easier that one is? How easy that eye is, I don't know. These palettes, oh dear. You see, I could edit that out, but I'm not going to, because this is what we do, isn't it? And I do it all the time. So, there you go. What was I saying? These palettes are very pigmented. You know I love Revolution, I say it time and time again. But I would say definitely from all the Revolution palettes, this is my favourite. I like this one. And then I'll do another one and I'll say I think that might be my favourite. But no, I really like this one. So that's that blended. And then I get a bigger blender like this. So I don't think it's even meant to be a blending brush, guys, but you know I always use this for my final. You know, getting it all nicely together. And we'll do that one there. Okay, so I think it's quite difficult to say this is the way to do something. As I've said many times, all I can say is this is the way I do it. It works for my eyes, but different eyes can get a similar look, but you'd have to adjust it. With a hooded eye, you would have to keep your eye closed like this, or open, sorry, keep your eye open and go where the crease should be, like this. So you can still get that depth, but your application would have to be a little bit different. But there is lots and lots of lovely ladies on here who do, you know, get ready with me's and eye looks that have hooded eyes, and they look absolutely beautiful. So, you know, there's lots of us with different things. That's it. Now, this one is just a pencil brush. And I'm going to take the same colour that I've got there. Let me really make sure that's blended. So I'm going to take the same colour again, and I'm going to put it underneath. Really, really close to my lashes. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm putting it's on my lashes. I'm actually touching my lashes. Can you see, guys? So that is just kind of diffusing it. And then up at the corner there. So that corner is like that. And do the same the other side. Up at the corner. There. And then the same colour again. And I'm going to slightly darken the very outer V part. So same shade, not another shade, same shade, and just that V. And if you're working with the Reloaded palettes, guys, a little bit at a time. I love the Reloaded palette because there's no fallout. So I love that. I love that. I don't get fallout with it. But that's another thing that can be quite individual, you know, because a lot of our ladies say this, you get fallout with something, and I don't, and then so there's no fallout, and I guess I think it's all according how you're applying it or which particular batch you've got. But I've never known, I personally have never known a Reloaded palette that has fallout. They don't for me. Okay, so we're going up with that one. And plenty of this. And then to make sure that side's even. I'm just making sure, although there's no fallout, I definitely want to make sure there's nothing, it would be during application, I definitely want to make sure that nothing is giving that droop down, you know. I need everything to go up. So though it's not fallout, I just want to make sure that I haven't applied it too low. And now I'm going to go for my lids colour. And I'm going to use this one here in the first half, so the inner half. And pressing that on. And I'm doing it very slowly. I'd much rather work very slowly because, like with anything else, you can add but you can't take away. And this doesn't get blended in the way that the matte shadows do. So you've got to make sure this is applied properly by little taps. Again, we don't want to press too hard because of the, you know, delicacy of that skin around there. Take that right to the inner corner. And then with my finger, the warmth of my finger, I just work that out. If you're younger, I'm sure you don't have to do that. But obviously my lids are more crepey because I'm older. Just with the warmth of my finger, I work that out. Then we'll have the same the other side. First half. That. And working that like that. I think I've mentioned, I'm not sure guys, in a previous video that I'm doing a video of Ask Me Anything. So I need to collect your questions up. That's coming at the latter end of July. So I want to get your questions and see what, you know, if I compare which questions seem to be more asked, I can make sure I use those, you know. So just, I've done it, I've put it on Facebook as well. And I will on Instagram. Warming that up. Not too much rubbing. Warmth of your finger does it. Just to make sure that there's no crepey looking, you know, you get it in there. And then I'm going to take the one next to it, which is this one. But I will put all the numbers at the top, guys. So you know each colour that I'm using. And then I'm going to put this on the last half. So it's a shade shimmer as well. It's not a glitter, I don't take glitters now. Glitters are not very good for me. Well, they do show the crepe of my lid up. And with the finger again, we're just warming that up. And then the same the other side. Can you see it's just, I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but it's just very slightly darker. See that, guys? So you've got the lighter shimmer towards the inner corner and the darker shimmer towards the outer corner. And then we're just working that. I love this palette, but I love the Soft Glam palette. That's it. Making sure that's all nicely blended. And then we will go around the top part again. That's nicely blended. So that's it, guys. Go and put the rest of my makeup on. I'll be back. Okay, so it's nice, isn't it? I'm really happy with this look. I like it. And one of the things I like about it really very much is the fact that it will look like this tonight. There won't be a trace of fading. It will look like this when I, you know, take my makeup off tonight. And at the moment it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I like that. I like that I don't have to touch it up during the day. It's nice. And if you're going out, that's important, isn't it? You like to know that however long you're sort of mingling or going about or eating, you'd like that, is my makeup still there? It's nice to know it's, you know, you can be confident, and you can certainly be confident with this one. So that's the Revolution and the Reloaded palettes, best palettes they make. I love Reloaded palettes, and it's the Velvet Rose. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I will see you again in my next video. Today, the news is saying it's going to be the hottest day in English record. But I think it's more in the south of England, and I live in the north of England. But my babies are down the south of England, as you know. So I'm a bit concerned about them. It's hard, you know, because my daughter's an excellent mum, but I want to phone up and say, make sure you don't let them out in the garden. Make sure they've got hats on. Make sure they've got sunscreens on. Don't take them out in the midday sun. And I think I can't do that because, you know, she's their mum. She's very responsible, and she's a wonderful mother. And I think you don't poke your nose in, but there's part of me that teaching to do it. It's awful, isn't it? You've got to respect, haven't you? Okay, I'll see you again in my next video. You take care of yourselves. Bye, my darlings. Bye. Bye.